stop me. Going for the goal, my heart is in control, my mind is on succeed, and I am in the lead. It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing. It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing. It's amazing. I've been feeling real good, came a long way from here.
Testing.
All right, welcome Dallas Center, Iowa for the first ever YouTube production of Mustang softball. He's Jeff, I'm Pat. In the skybox tonight, we have the producer, Mike Bynum, Ella Bynum, out there making everything happen. The technology, all the production stuff, all the coordination goes on it. The music man, Zach Boulder, and on the mic tonight, Lance Burke. All senior parents right there, manning the station up there in the box. So today, Pella Christian is in the house. You look at all the things that we've been doing here over the last forever here, it seems like now in the production environment here, Jeff. We've been doing basketball games. We've been doing softball now, wrestling. We got all this stuff going on. Things have really changed over the last 5-6 years in athletics.
Yeah, Pat, thanks. And it's an honor to be here. It's honoring Coach Slofsky's last season to ask us to step in. And, we spent 10 years together with our girls. Two of our girls lined up, and we had 10 years in this program, 8 of those 10 years at the state tournament. It's great to be back for Coach Slofsky's year, and we'll have a little fun. And like you said, the Eagles are in town, and we'll see how 13 seniors for Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs tonight.
Yeah, that's a ton, isn't it? So what are some of the challenges that you see on some of that? Because we've had, typically we would have 4 or 5 seniors because this is unusual in softball that we would have this many because it's very hard. There's only so many kids that can play, and there's only so many innings out there, especially you start talking pitchers and catchers, things like that. Typically they weed out. This team has not done that.
Yeah, and 13 seniors has a lot of advantages, Pat. You got a lot of depth, you got a lot of experience. Your team has gone through 5 years together in this program. It will show up probably tonight. At the same time, though, 13 seniors that stuck it out and they want to play too. And we've seen in the past, great DCG teams have great senior leadership, and there's some great seniors on this team. Excited to see how they lead as a group and see what they can do together. So super excited to watch them. Yeah,
there's just a lot that goes on with everything. Now let's talk about the challenges that has. The obvious one right there is there's going to be a lot of young kids playing next year from that standpoint, but we do have a sophomore starting and a freshman starting tonight.
Yeah, and again, it's about understanding softball. Successful teams is about understanding your role. It's not always about being on the field. Sometimes you need leadership in the dugout, what your role is. Coach Lofke has always taught every girl has a role on this team. And when the teams, state tournament teams, state championship teams don't win because of the top 8, they win because every girl fulfills a role on the team. And that's sometimes that means somebody shows up at practices and pushes a starter. And earns some playing time along the season, and we've seen in the past, Coach Lofke, he rewards those kids. So, again, excited to watch.
Absolutely. And, a lot of times it's your upperclassmen that get you there. And I remember when both of our youngest went through this not too long ago. We were down at Oskaloosa, and Aubrey Johansson was a 8th grader at that time.
Yep.
And, we were doing well and things were going well, but we had gaps. We had some things that needed to go. And I told her mom, Aubrey's mom, I'm like, our seniors are going to get us there, get the opportunity, but Aubrey's going to be the one to get the one hit, to drive that one, to lock in that thing. And that's exactly what happened here on this field when we ended up going to the state tournament there. That would have been, 15? No, 20.
Yeah, and Aubrey came up in the DCG youth system, being a pitcher, playing shortstop, and she played second base for us for that year.
Yeah.
That's an example of a now senior, probably understands and can work with the younger kids, especially you see a freshman and sophomore starting. She can relate, right? She was asked to play second base, and I'm sure when Coach came to her, I think she had 2 things in mind. One, I get to play, and second base is, holy cow, where is second base?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, you're 100% on the money there, because a lot of those freshmen, the 8th graders that come in and they play, they're asked to play outfield. I'm a shortstop, or I'm a catcher, or I'm a pitcher. I'm not an outfielder. I mean, we had some of our best athletes out in the outfield for years and years and years, and things like that. So that is an interesting dynamic for sure.
Yeah, Pat. And, tonight, Pella Christian is our guest, and the Eagles are off to a 1-4 start. Again, a very young team again. I was just kind of looking at the roster from last year. Again, looks like a little bit of a roster turnover. A couple ladies has pitched so far. Did not pitch last year. But the Eagles have always traditionally, again, they're a 2A school playing in a 4A school. Always find a way. Good kids. Always find a way to battle, and what do you expect tonight from them?
Well, hard-fought games, doing the best you can, work, improve. What are your expectations when you really get out there on the field? And it doesn't matter whether you're on the softball field, basketball court, golf course, whatever it is. You're out there to compete. You're going to end up being better today than you were yesterday. Why? Because you get to compete. You get to compete against a strong team with strong culture and things like that. I remember, when DCG entered the Little Hawkeye Conference, we were probably at our height. I mean, we had all-staters, all-conference, all-Americans, Olympic softball player. I mean, we had it all. And if you remember that first year, the coach from Pella Christian sent Schlafke a note, and he read that at our banquet, and it said, "Thank you for showing us what a championship caliber team," and we won the state championship that year.
Mm-hmm.
What it takes to be a state champion, what it takes to be a champion. And I'm like, wow, that is telling of the quality of the kids, the quality of the coach, the quality of the parents when you get that, because we pretty much put it to them. I mean, it was pretty brutal on some of those. And it's how do you learn from those things? But when do you want to play? When do you want to learn these things? What is your objective? Your objective is to win at the end of the year, not right now.
Yeah, and we've seen the Eagles in the past years make a run. I believe they've made the state tournament, and they've had. I remember, I believe it was our older daughters. I think our daughter's senior year. They were a loaded team 9 years ago, and that team could hit. And so, the Eagles are always going to turn athletes around, and they play with a lot of pride and heart, and they're young, and they're going to play hard, we know. But softball is a game of strength and speed, and potentially tonight we see a little bit of that difference. But we know Pella Christian will show up tonight. play hard.
I know Bella Christian because I did the basketball games as well, and the Kakmarinsky sisters are out here and very athletic. They've got athletes. There's no doubt about it. So this will be a nice game to see. It's a good conference game, so it's just one of those that once we get out there, we get everything going. There's going to be some challenges on both sides. Camila Rodriguez will get the start today on the mound, and we'll just go from there and see what she can do, and hopefully we can put a few good innings together.
Yeah, and speaking of Kakmarinsky, Rachel Kakmarinsky, younger sister, I believe, batting down in the 9-hole, but don't be fooled. She's their best hitter so far on the year in 5 games. She's hitting .444, Pat. So obviously, there's some talent on this roster. Kind of looking at the roster, they got a girl with a homer. They got a couple other hitters. Addie Van Arendonk is hitting .333 from the catcher position in the 6th. So, when you see them batting 6 through 9, it kind of tells me that right now it's early in the season and they're probably younger and maybe we're not starters last year, but there's a little bit of strength at the end of this lineup.
You'd start talking about, oh gosh, I'm hitting in the 9-hole. For how many years did Jackie Payton hit in the 9-hole for us, which is probably one of the top 5 athletes, male or female, to go through Dallas Center Grimes.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, she's ridiculously good and athletic.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and wait for our introductions here
and
for
the
the
national
game.
anthem after that. Yep.
The Mustangs out of the Little Hawkeye Conference coming to tonight's game with a record of 2-1. At this time, let's meet the starters for Pella Christian. Leading off and pitching, number 10, Laurel. Batting second, playing center field, number 15, Claire Raffles. Batting third, playing third base, number 23, Rin Rosenboom. Batting fourth, playing second base, number 19, Addison Manstrup. Playing fifth, batting fifth, playing shortstop, number 4, Maddie Van Zee. Batting sixth, catching, number 13, Maddie Van Arendonk. Batting seventh, playing first base, number 7, Maya Houston. Batting eighth, playing right field, number 17, Chloe Nickel. Batting ninth, in the DP position, number 18, Rachel Kakmarinsky. Playing the flex position, number 9, Runner. Assistant coaches are Mike Rosenboom and Emma Snell. Head coach for the Eagles is Mindy Kakmarinsky. Now let's meet the starters. Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs. Leading off, playing left field, number 1, Lydia Rivera. Batting second, DCG, number 6, Summer Hale. Batting third, number 5, of America and those who protect their freedom, playing the national anthem.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, alongside two-time Little League All-Star here, Pat O'Brien. I'm Jeff Hanneman. First ever DCG softball game on DCG TV, and super excited to be along for the rest of the season here, weather permitting and technology available to us. We'll be covering the DCG Mustangs softball here at home for home games for the rest of the season. Some super exciting days coming up. One of my favorite days always is was it Little League Kids Night, DTC poster night. That's one of my favorite nights of the year. And Friday, June 14th, celebrating the three-time state champions in 2013, 14, and 15, I believe.
Yep.
And a bunch of ex-Mustangs. Well, I'll apologize, folks. I will call them Phillies at least 10 times tonight. But we'll have several Mustangs back in town for a Friday night game and honor those teams. So super excited to bring you DCG Mustang softball, and here we go. It's 7:30 p.m. in Dallas Center. It's time for Mustang softball.
Yeah, one of the things that we're going to want to do throughout this year is when we see a past player, whether they were part of that group or not, we see a past player out here, we're going to celebrate those players. We'll bring them up here. We'll get their perspective on
Al
these
Nelson
games.
is to my left tonight, by the way. I see her up here tonight. First batter for the Eagles is Laura Rosenboom. She's the pitcher tonight, hitting a .133 on the year for 5 games. Camila Rodriguez with a strike, 1-1 count here.
Yeah, and so you start looking at it, there's the rise ball, and I was talking to, several people. What's the hardest thing to do in athletics? And hitting is got to be the hardest thing that there is in any sport right there, because you are at a disadvantage from day one. So I'm only hitting 250, or I'm only hitting 300 or something like that. It is very, very challenging. You go watch the College World Series right now in softball. It's amazing.
Ground ball to first base. Reese Burke with the put out at first base. 1 down for the Mustangs. Now batting Pella Christian, center fielder Claire Bradford. Should probably get used to waiting for the announcer to do that. Probably in a little bit of a. Do we have an echo here? Or
Well, there's
noise
like
canceling
a
for us?
3-second delay on this too. So.
Okay.
So it's perfect.
Turned out to be a beautiful night here. 73 degrees, partly cloudy. Light rain earlier, but rain has skirted us. Base hit for Bradford towards center field.
Yeah, well, one of them seeing eye signals right there is perfect. Strong enough to get it out there in there. A little bit of breeze going from plate to the outfield, left field.
Bradford was hitting 273 coming into that bat in 5 games, so doing good. Here's Bryn Rosenboom. Good pitch, foul ball.
I like they're up there taking cuts. You know, you can go up there and take strikes, and then you get behind. Sometimes that first pitch is the best one you're going to get.
Yeah, and Camila is a senior pitcher for DCG. She's had a little bit of work, only 2 innings so far on the season. So you got a pitcher with a little bit less innings, and I agree. I like the Eagles' approach coming after her.
Yeah, get in there and see if you can't get a solid base hit. Get a couple, 3 of them put together right there. Put the pressure on the Mustangs and see how they react.
Drive to right field. Addie Abens.
Yeah,
good
just
stop
like
out
that.
there and in right field. Yep.
And that one was stroked good. That was line drive. You know, that grass is probably a little bit wet. We've had a little bit of rain here today, and especially here in the last hour. So that grass is wet. That one could skip, and that'll probably happen before the end of the night.
Yeah, here's Addison Banstra, second baseman. A little bit of pop here, Pat. She's got a home run on the year. A little bit of words. Got a good swing. Got a little bit of drive.
Yeah, wind blowing out to left field. If she's able to get that thing up in the air, it will help move that ball.
0-1 the count here. 1 out. First and second, Eagles. Got a sophomore catcher here. I don't know much about Addison. Do you know much about Addison Liddon?
No, I think she caught last year as well. We had so I mean you look at it's of all of the positions that are out there on that field under Coach Slofsky, that is the one right there that is probably the most challenging mentally, physically, and everything that there has to do, because you are the leader of that entire team out there. You're doing everything. You're taking the calls from the dugout, and there is a lot going on in that catcher position in this DCG Mustang program. So obviously she's smart, she's dedicated, she works hard, and she gets the job done.
Yeah, and Coach Slofsky is that is one position he requires mental toughness to be on the field.
He expects greatness out of that position.
Strike 3. Rodriguez with a strikeout, 2 down. Here's shortstop Maddie Van Zee for the Eagles. Maddie doesn't no batting average yet through 5 games, but she has drawn 4 walks and scored 4 runs, so pretty good eye appears here.
Now's the time to get off the schneid, right? Now's the time to get that first base hit and drive that run in. And that one was right there, right down the pipe, right there on the outside corner. Got to be aggressive on there. She's got 4 walks, she said, on the year, and she gets that by taking pictures.
One's the pitch. Foul ball. Well, Pat, years past we were fortunate enough to be up here in the booth behind us and doing the PA and the music, and we were always protected by foul balls, but we're a little bit of danger zone in front of this tonight, so I'm going to ask the fans to my left to probably jump in front and knock it down for us.
I was going to bring my glove, but I thought if I did that, I might knock my computer or something over, and it'd cost me. So I'll try and get out of the way. Reactions are not as good as what they used to be.
No, I agree. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down here, top of the first. What pitch are you looking to throw here, Pat? 1 and 2.
Go straight change right here. And what do? Nothing.
Ground ball. Third base to Haley Ewell. Steps on the base for the end of the inning. So they go to the bottom of the first. Phillies, Mustangs, I already did it.
Yep,
Strike
there
1.
You go. That's $1 for Pat.
There's $1 for Pat. Every time I say Phillies, and Pat gets $1 from me. Bottom of the first for the Mustangs. Zaruba, Campbell, Reiling due up.
So you look at that last play, Jeff, and you say, all right, that's an easy play. But mentally, you got to know what's going on right there, because she could have thrown it to first base there as well. So you've got options. You could go to first, second, but she knew mentally, that's that mental part of the game you're talking about right there. If it's hit to me, step on the bag. And that's the thing about this game, that you got to know exactly what the situation is and what you're going to do if that ball comes at you. And that's the thing, especially when you're in the outfield or in some of these positions that don't get a lot of physical ball action like that, because, man, you might only get one opportunity in a week, really. I mean, you look at some of the teams that our kids played on, how many balls went to left field?
Very few.
In the season.
Very few. That's why we had an all-state right fielder every year.
That's right.
And an all-state second baseman.
But you also, when we were at the state championship game, Jenna Humke in left field was making plays out there in left field that needed to be made, and she didn't have a lot of opportunity, but she's out there doing that.
Yeah, Jenna Humke in the state final against Winterset in 2015. Remember a sinking liner, and she got a tremendous jump on the ball, made a critical low shoestring catch, and she would have hesitated at all. That was a base hit, probably turned it into double, and we would have been in trouble.
Then you'd say, okay, there goes your. I mean, everything is so thin in this game when you get to those high levels like that. Very, very tough. So to have the mental awareness, very good.
Leadoff batter for the Mustangs is left fielder Lydia Zaruba. Zaruba last year hit .456. No hits this year, but we know she's kind of a slap hitter in that. Does have a few walks. I expect Lydia to kind of heat up here pretty soon, don't you?
Yes, there's no doubt. I mean, we're very early in the season. The teams that we played, you talk Winterset, probably one of the best programs in the state all time.
And there it is, Lydia's first hit of the season, just like that, just on the call. Zaruba makes things happen for the top, and we know the Mustangs have a lot of power, and we're going to run into it here now. Here's Summer Campbell hitting .429 early on the season, designated hitter.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's one you got to know, defensively. It felt right there that the defense was probably back a little bit further than what they needed to be. So you got to know who's up and what's going on there.
Yep. Good first pitch, good changeup. 0-1.
Well, there's
Laura Rosenboom is in the circle for Pella Christian.
And there is a whole new system going on here. We got numbers. We don't have the
Oh, yeah.
We're doing the 1, 4, 5, 3, 7 thing. I don't know what any of that stuff means. We're going to have to get ourselves a wristband, Jeff.
Yeah, coach is going to hand it. Yeah, we got a whole new system is right. Summer Campbell with a base hit to left brings up senior Macy Riley, 500. Already 2 homers on the season this year, 15 last year.
Yeah, let's just say it what it is, stud.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all there is to it right here. This is big-time player.
Good patience. Macy. Yep. Macy Riley.
Yep.
Macy with a bunt. Surprise bunt. Base hit. Coming home and play at the plate.
Love
it. Safe. And
oh, here we go.
Putting pressure on the Eagles. Throwing the ball around. 2-run score as Summer Campbell comes in. There's a surprise.
Yeah.
Bunting with your power hitter.
Well, typically your power hitters don't have that kind of speed.
Yeah. She
can run. All right, she can move, so she can go, so you can do something like that, but you catch that defense off guard right there. You start playing, that's the same play right there that you had in like U10 and U12. It's like, stop throwing the ball.
Yeah.
And just keep throwing the thing around.
Yep. Here's the sophomore catcher, Addison Liddon. She's also looking to bunt. Ball 1.
This is, the small ball, the bunt, the thing like that is underutilized probably in high school. You look at the colleges, they are moving runners all the time. And the more you can move runners, the better off you're going to be.
Yep. Strike 1. 1-1. Big thing too, Pat. Coach Lofke is always very calculated in what he's doing. He knows darn well this is going to be a very good DCG team. He also knows they got a great chance to go to the state tournament if they play well. We also know sub-state games is one of the hardest games to win, and you got to be able to play small ball to win. Usually when get there, so to play with that during the season is preparing the team for being ready when it really is going to matter in July for us.
Absolutely, and pull the scab off now. This is a team that got beat on this field in the state sub-state game last year, which we had a very good team, but so did Adel.
Yeah.
And that was just one of those things. Those two teams should not have been playing, but when you play regional regions, that something's like that's going to happen. Ooh.
Yep. Foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another thing too, it gets back to our opener. We talked about 13 seniors. little bit of a message from coach, like, hey, nobody's too good to lay down a bunt. You know,
that's
like,
right.
Even though we got a power hitter up there,
Yep.
you know, we're gonna do what it takes to win. You know.
Yeah, you have to, everybody has to. It's like in basketball, everybody has to be a scoring threat. Everybody has to be a bunting threat. Everybody has to be a hitting threat. So all that thing, that just makes you a much more valuable athlete, a much more valuable softball player in this case.
Yeah. Full count here. Line drive to center field, base hit. Here comes Reiling around third base. And Addie Liddon with an RBI single, 3-0 Mustangs. And here's senior first baseman Reese Burke. Fit 500 out of the chute. Great hitter. 361 last year. A little bit of pop in the bat.
Oh, yeah. I think it was Reese. And we were talking about this before. We had like a 60-mile-an-hour wind, it seemed like, when they were doing their home run derby thing here. And we were testing out all of our technology. And she hit one over the top of the second fence, and it went like 425, 30 feet.
Yeah, I don't think
that's got to be the longest hit in the history.
I don't think that ball
of
ever,
DCG.
I don't think they found the ball. I think it's somewhere.
Well, they got it in the dugout over there.
Oh, you know, Reese line drive to left. Nice place in left field. That ball was smoked.
Yeah. You know, I guess and this is the thing. When you start looking at batting averages and you start looking at this, oh, you know, I'm hitting 250. Well, I've been smoking that ball hard all the time. And you keep doing that, you're going to end up with the average that you needed to have at the end of the year.
That's a stolen base by that's number 16 actually that came into courtesy run for the catcher. That's Paisley Heigergen. Looks like will be 8th grader. Will be a freshman next fall. But good speed on the bases. Coach always loves good young speed.
Yep.
It's like Paisley's one of the people that's going to fill that role this year.
And it's also an opportunity to get 8th graders engaged into this, because you got to have that. That's how you infuse youth into your program. And if you'll remember, Allison, my middle softball player, her first varsity action was as a courtesy or pitch runner or whatever they call it, courtesy runner for the catcher. We were playing Waukee over on that field over there.
Yep.
And so these are kids as 8th graders. They've been running bases in the U12s and forever and making fools out of everybody. Well, she got up against that senior catcher for Waukee, took about 3 or 4 steps off the bag, stood there, took off, and got thrown out by like 15 feet.
And that's an RBI double by second baseman Bella Mulder. Bella was started out 143, but she had 8 homers last year, so showed some little power there.
Again.
And to catch up, the ground ball before that was senior center fielder Aubrey Johansson. But here's Haley Ewell up to bat, so go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, you start looking, the meat of your lineup right there is just unbelievable right there, isn't it? There's a lot happening.
Haley Ewell, line drive base hit. Bella Mulder around third. It's going to be 5-0 Mustangs. Haley with a nice hit there. Haley's our third baseman this year. And here's freshman Addie Abens, obviously playing right field. She's starting. Again, young freshman. I know how this works. This is a good young player. Already a homer on the year, 500. I'm excited to watch her play this year.
Yeah, and athletic like you wouldn't believe. She played basketball this year, varsity basketball. I'm certain she lettered in that as well.
Shows a little wheels there with an infield hit. Back to the top of the order here.
God, last year, you know, you think you're going to slap, Everybody moved in. I don't remember who we were playing last year, and I think it was Carlisle possibly, and she lined one, and it went all the way to the fence, and she ended up on third, a stand-up triple. So she can hit.
Oh, nice play at short.
Nice.
Shortstop knocked it down. Van Zee throws it over to third base. Brennan Rosenboom, and an eagle is out of the inning.
Yeah, it's 5-run inning right there, Jeff. I mean, I think you start looking at this, I don't think it's a surprise that you've got this type of game right now. It's got to go 4.5 innings, but this is one, it's going to be good for both sides. But in the end, I mean, when you start looking at the size of the kids for the Mustangs and compare that to the size of the kids and the age of the kids, I mean, it's two totally different scenarios right here.
So, Pat, what, you know, again, Pella Christian's a 2A school playing in predominantly 4A school. Pella Christian has good young kids. We always know they're going to compete. You know, it makes them always dangerous in when we get to playoffs because they're getting this experience. But how do you keep a winning attitude? And, you know, what would you work on to try to get better?
Well, a lot of that is the coaches and the parents as well. I mean, they have to play a role in that because you can't have the type of situation where you're like, you got to do this and start beating these things into these kids. They're young. They're 14, they're 15, 16 years old. They're young. But how, you know, keeping the main thing the main thing. And what do we want to do? Did we get better? Yes, we did. Positive energy goes a long ways with these kids. And then when you can tell your kids and they see success a couple times, that gives you energy and celebrate those successes.
Yep.
You know, somebody gets a home run, somebody gets that steal, celebrate the little things.
Yep.
So that, you know, you get a few things in there that are on the positive side.
Oh, line drive. This is by catcher. Oh, knocked down by Rodriguez out at first. That was Addie Van Arendonk, the catcher. She was hitting 333 coming into that, and that was a good hit, but a great play by Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's a reaction, total reaction right there. If that thing was like 6 inches over to the left, she probably doesn't get that glove up, and that's a base hit right up the middle.
And 1 out for the Mustangs. Maya Huseman, the first baseman for the Eagles, is up. Maya no hits yet on the season, looking for a first. Nice, good low fastball by Camila.
You know, and you go back to the, you know, when the success happens, celebrate the success.
Yep.
But this is a team that's been doing this for a long time, so it's important that the older kids, you know, tell the younger ones, look, if you wait it out, we're going to end the season on a high note. And that's really, nobody really cares about the stuff that happened in May and early June. Nobody cares about that. It's like, what happened in July? You know, what happened in late June? What happened in July?
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I did some research on the Eagles today, and I was looking at last year's stats and comparing it to this year. And last year they had a pitcher, I think he was pretty young. I don't see her on the roster this year. You know, threw 100 and foul ball there, but threw 160 innings, Pat, and had 158 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow. And she had an ERA below 4. That's pretty darn good for playing 4A pitching. But then one thing I looked at was 131 errors on the season. And so, you know, in this year, off to a 1-4 start, 15 errors.
Yeah.
And so you had a pitcher last year getting a strikeout an inning. And, you know, if you do some math there, you know, the Eagles pitchers, you know, are playing an extra inning plus to get more outs. And so, and so I'm thinking from a standpoint of trying to get better. I think you know, emphasizing defense through this season is where you can really gain, I think, by the end of July. And then I think this Pella Christian team can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Because I think they'll have decent pitching. They definitely have athletes. They got some speed.
Well, you need to keep your kids. Yeah. You need to keep your kids out that are playing, right? For sure.
Yep. Here's Chloe Nickel, the right fielder. Huseman got an infield hit there. 1-0 count, 1 out here. Top of the second, 5-0 Mustangs. Nice rise ball, pass ball. Huseman to second base on the pass ball.
Yeah, Camila says, you know, that's my bad. I got started it a little bit too high. The rise ball when the high is going to end up in the fence.
Yeah, it'd be ooh, that got pretty good. Must be up. 3-0 count. Chloe's also looking for a first hit on the season. Again, he does challenger here. Rachel Kakmarinski's on deck, hitting .444 from the 9 position, so need to take care of this batter. There's a pick, good pitch.
And I think, at some point, if the odds of winning this game are thin, right, if you're Pella Christian. So even at 3-0, it shouldn't be an automatic take. You get after there and be aggressive.
Ooh, good foul ball just outside the first base line. 3-2 count, 1 out. Huseman at second base. Pretty good crowd for Friday night. And again, big games coming up. I believe poster night. I don't have that on my media calendar, but super excited again for June 14th, Friday night here, celebrating the 3 state title teams. You see several Mustangs returning that night for a celebration and a good game. Base hit. Chloe Nickel to left field with her first hit of the season. First and third now for the Eagles. Got a little something going here. And here's Rachel Kakmarinski, probably one of their better hitters right now, Pat. Statistically, .444. So Mustangs in a little trouble here. Yeah, so I mean, the Mustangs need this. So let's see how they act and react to this right here. And it'd be really nice for the Eagles maybe to punch one through there and start putting some pressure on this DCG defense. Yeah, I know we're down 5 runs here for the Eagles, first and third. Are you starting the runner at first? I'm probably not doing that right yet. Let's just see what happens. But I'm not opposed to pushing. Bunt for Kakmarinski. Rodriguez off the mound. And going to be safe at first base. Kakmarinski with excellent wheels. Base hit. Bases loaded and back to the top of the order for Laura Rosenboom. Yeah, that's a perfect bunt right there. Yep. I mean, that's absolutely perfect. That's great coaching right there. That's great execution right there. Yep. Third baseman's back a little bit. Pitcher has to pull that up. Just there's no time. That's base hit all day. Yeah, well done. Puts more pressure on, getting back to the top of the order. The Eagles here are threatening. Now it's imperative that there's a base hit out of these next 2 batters. Yeah, the ball needs to be put in play here. Ground ball somewhere will get them a run. Got to get this in play. Infield is back, except for first and third, so it's like anywhere but there. Mustangs will concede the run or try to turn double play up the middle. I think you get the out right now. You got to get out of the inning. You take the out, give up the run. You've got 5 right there in the bank right now. You give up the 1. You make sure you get that out so that you can get that play to first base on the next one. Oh, nice. Looked like a little cutter there. Yeah. That ball came in and went straight left. Yeah, it went straight away from the batter. Yep. Off her hand, it was right down the middle, and I was kind of cringing from our seat going, uh-oh, and then I think busted off. There was indecision at the plate. It was like, all right, here it comes. No, it's something different. It is going to be a strike. Ooh, look out. Well, I like that, trying to, after that great last pitch, trying to get her looking outside, trying to bust it inside. Yeah. Thought that was a brilliant idea there. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. Nice swing. Eagles dugout is up on the fence. You can hear them pretty good, so they're into this game. Yeah, it's amazing. I don't even know why there's a bench in these dugouts. Why did we even put that in there? Yeah. The only thing is there is so the kids can put their shoes on, and I think that's it. Yeah. Because nobody uses them. No, they're most unused seats in all of softball. Yeah, those will be here for like 1,000 years, and there'll still be the sticker on the top. Now base hit to left field. Eagles have scored 1. Here comes the throw to the plate, and safe at home. 2 runs for the Eagles. That's a great send by the coach at third base right there. You got to take risk. You're down 5. You got to take some risk, and you got to maybe assume that that left fielder doesn't have the strength arm to get it all the way through there. Nice job out of the Eagles right there. Yeah, great hit by Laurel Rosenboom there. 1 out, 2 RBI hit, and she's standing on second base. Kakmarinski's at third, and in the box is Claire Brafford, center fielder.
great hit. I mean, that's the type of thing you can build on right there.
Yep. Yeah, and you can hear it in the Eagles dugout. You can hear the excitement. You know, that's great. They're supporting each other, and that was good energy. They're playing with some energy tonight.
Yeah,
they're playing really hard.
Energy, and that's how you can tell whether or not things are going well in your program. Do you have energy? Do you have enthusiasm?
Yep.
And things like that. If you don't have that, it's really hard to move forward.
Yep. Foul ball into the stands, caught by a young Eagles fan off the bleachers. Well played.
Yeah, that was all right. Unfortunately, in this game, you don't get to keep the balls that come out here.
No. And it's not the Savannah Bananas, and the fan
Right.
can't catch the ball and record it out for the
Right.
Bananas either. So that would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'll see here if this batter ends up loading the base, whether we get a coaches meeting at the mound.
Yep.
It just seems like it'd be a good time to have a reset if this batter gets on. Oh, that's hard. It's high, but those are hard not to swing at when they're coming in like that.
3-1 count on Bradford. One down, second and third Eagles. 5-2. Big rally here for the Eagles. Pop Reese Burke over. Oh, close to the dugout. Foul ball.
Full count, 1 out.
Ball 4. The Eagles have got the bases loaded.
Yeah, all right. Good job by the catcher right
Yep.
here. This is why you had. I think it was time, whether it's coach or catcher or somebody, run out there and say, "All right, here's what the deal is. What are we doing? What's going on?" They're probably talking about what they had for breakfast and what for dinner and things like that. They're probably talking about nothing about softball out there.
Yeah, as a former youth coach, you'd be surprised what you can say out there sometimes. Sometimes you do have to go out there and get after somebody, and sometimes you have to go tell a joke.
Yeah.
It just depends on the kid and the
right.
mentality out there, and sometimes the conversations get interesting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Right on.
Bases loaded here for Bryn Rosenboom, third
Wow,
baseman.
if you're an Eagles fan, that's a tough strike right there, man. That one's like on your ankles.
Yeah, that seemed a little bit low and in. I agree there. But we're up here.
Yeah.
We're not paid to call.
Oh, sure we are. We get paid. Not very well. But.
That was a good cut there on a belt-high fastball by Bryn. 0-2 count, 1 out. Bases full of Eagles.
We said last time it was imperative one of these two batters get on. Same thing right now. Bases loaded. It's imperative that one of these next two batters hits the grass on these hits.
Yeah, and this is definitely their two stronger hitters. And Rosenboom takes a strikeout down the middle by Rodriguez. 2 down.
Man, you got to be aggressive. You got to want that thing. You got to be aggressive on there. It barely caught the outside edge of that corner right there. Nice pitch by Camila Rodriguez.
Yeah, very good pitch. Clutch pitch. Credit to the catcher. Catcher goes out and get an immediate result.
So. Right on, yeah. Absolutely. That's right on. Go out there, do your job, manage the game.
Ball 1 to Addison Banstra, second baseman.
Yeah, if you're above the belt, you're not getting it today. That was just above the belt right there.
Yeah, and that, as a coach, you're fine with that.
Oh, yeah.
It's consistent, right?
Yeah, right on.
So. He likes that inside call.
He sure does. So you have to adjust now because those are hard ones to hit. So when those ones do come in, then they're not in that little spot because they're going to start painting those corners over there because they know where they're at. That's what's going to happen.
Pat, if you're a visiting team coach, do you think the Eagles coach looks at that and goes and calls pitches to try to get into that same zone?
Well,
if they're capable,
you do, right? I mean, you get in there and it's like, man, if that's where I know I can't be high or I know I can't be outside, you have to adjust. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind.
Oh, chased a high fastball. 2-2 count here on Bandstra.
And that's pure aggressiveness right there. I love that swing.
Me too.
I love getting after it. I want to get out there and make a play. You darn right. Get after that and get yourself some.
2-2 pitch. Strike 3 on the outside corner, and the Mustangs are out of the inning. No further damage, but 2 runs for the Eagles. Good inning by the Eagles. 5-2, bottom 2.
Yeah, man, that inning and a half took like forever. So, but yeah, you look at that, and the Mustangs, they got in trouble right there, but they responded. They loaded the bases up. They cleared them basically and loaded them back up, and they were able to get out of that. So that's the resolve. That's what you expect out of a senior pitcher. That's what you expect out of a high-quality catcher and good defenders.
Yeah, and we're early in the season, right? And you need more than one pitcher. You know, Johansson does, has pitched most of the innings so far. And we need Rodriguez to get some innings. She's a good pitcher, and she brings a different style. And the Mustangs definitely need her to get some more experience, get some more innings on her. And you know what? A tough inning, you learn from it, right? Yeah. You can show up and, I always used to tell my kids, Pat, when you're a pitcher and 10 to 20% of the time you have your best stuff and you can beat anybody that night. It's easy. But most nights as a pitcher, you do not have your best stuff. And so the best pitchers figure out how to get it done when they're not hitting their stuff. Rodriguez threw some great pitches there after the visit to the mound from Liddon.
Yep.
And that showed that she's got it. And you know what? She needs a little adversity. And to know that when she doesn't have her best pitches working, that she can get some outs still.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's adjusting, right? It's not getting frustrated. It's not pouting. It's not being angry. It's adjusting, managing, and getting after that next pitch, because that's the only one that matters. It's not the one that you just threw.
Yep. Leading off for the Mustangs, bottom of the second, senior Summer Campbell, base hit last time. Ground ball to third base, knocked down, and infield hit for Summer Campbell. That should be ruled a hit. That thing was hit hard, and good job by the third baseman, Bryn Rosenblum, to even get a glove on that. I thought she was going to make a great play there. That was a great effort.
Back in the day, this goes back into the early 80s. Somebody hit it, and then it was THTH. And it was, what is that? It's too hot to handle.
Yep.
It's just too much right there.
Here's shortstop Macy Reiling, and senior here, going to be attending DMAC next year.
Yep.
Looking forward to, watching her career go through there. Macy's another one of those kids. Was on the team with our younger daughter,
yep.
Our youngest daughters, as an 8th grader. She fulfilled a role in there. You can remember her. I remember pinch running a little bit. Even came in and pitched back then, and doesn't pitch much now for the Mustangs, but. Here she is, everyday shortstop, and hitting line drives like that to center field. And off the center fielder.
Gosh, right
ball's
off
going
the
away.
knee.
Macy's hustling second base. Here comes Campbell. And our RBI double for Macy Reiling.
That's some toughness out there in center field right there. She dove after that ball. It hit her in the knee and actually bounced off like that right there. That did not feel good.
Yeah, and that was an effort there by center fielder Claire Bradford. What a great effort by Claire.
That is a great. I mean, that is not even. That ball is going straight at you, and the thing's probably, 15 feet off the ground?
Yeah,
line drive.
I absolutely love that she tried to make that play. I hope when she gets another ball like that, she makes a similar effort.
Yeah,
that was a ground ball to the mound by Addison Linden there for the first out, Reiling to third base on that.
So
but again, we defensive outfield defense. It was a great effort. She got her hand on it. You got to go. I always believe if you see a bloop, you got to go try to catch it. You cannot let a bloop hit. You got to go all out. You can't pull up. Even if you dive and missed on a bloop, the ball's not going to go anywhere.
So
you're not going to give up a big play.
As an outfielder, I don't know if any truth to this, but the way when I was playing outfield, if that ball was below my bill, I was charging. If it was above my bill, I'm taking a step back.
Yep. Reese Burke down the left field line, drives in Riley, and Burke to second base with a double. RBI double for Reese Burke. Reese has hit the ball hard twice tonight. He hit a scalding line drive to left field the first time and was rewarded again with putting the ball hard in play.
Yeah, I mean, when you hit the ball hard, good things are going to happen. It doesn't matter. It can be right at them. It can be in gaps, whatever. But if you continue to hit hard, the law of average is going to end in your favor.
Yeah, here's center fielder Aubrey Johansson. Ground ball. Oh, what a play by third baseman Brennan Rosenboom out at third. Burke to third. What a great play.
Amazing. Some of the plays right now defensively, those big hoppers like that, to be able to pick that stuff up out of the air like that.
But we were talking earlier about, working on your defense. The Eagles need to work on their defense as the season goes on so they're ready for the 2A playoffs. I love how the Eagles are playing defense this inning. They got a couple balls get away from them, but they're being aggressive. Third baseman has made 2 excellent efforts, and the center fielder, it's good to see from the Eagles. That will play well if they stay aggressive, stay connected.
Absolutely.
Here's Bella Mulder in the box. Again, hit .393 last year with 8 homers.
A lot of the stuff right now that, the pitchers, maybe this is a 55-mile-an-hour pitcher, right in that range, give or take 5.
Yep.
And it appears like maybe our batters are used to something a little bit fast. Everything is on the inside hands right now. So we really haven't connected, strong, hard hits. I mean, we hit some hard, but we're not hit. We haven't squared one yet.
Yeah. Here comes Reese coming home. And she's under the play. Nice slide. A great slide by Reese Burke.
Love it.
She did something really smart there. I like to see it. She slides outside the base and reaches back with her left hand.
It's away from the play, right? So, I mean, that's just intelligence right there. It's smart. Don't put yourself in a position, and plus it hurts like heck when you slide over the top of that plate.
Yep, sure does. 8-2 Mustangs here. 2 outs. Oh, 2-2 count on Mulder.
And Bella's like, why didn't you stay on third base and get me an RBI here? I'm going to hit this thing in the grass.
I don't think Reese in her competitive nature would allow that.
Right on.
There's a drive. Deep to center field. Back to the wall and out of here. Pella Mulder. First homer of the year for Bella. That was a great swing. She got a pitch up and on the way and used her strength to drive it out of here.
We just said we haven't squared one up yet. And she hit a couple of them off her hands right there, and you start talking about good at bats and things like that. Well, she had a couple good cuts in there, finally was able to get the timing down right and punch that thing out. And in case anybody's wondering whether the wind helped that out, there is 0 wind right here. That was just pure strength.
Yep.
These bats are different. These don't sound like we used to get those pings. And these are all dead bats. They're obviously made different.
Yeah, technology, Pat.
I suppose.
We used to do things that.
So I need to change my flip phone, is what you're saying?
Yeah, time to graduate from the flip phone. Here's third baseman Haley Ewell. Base hit from last time from Haley. Looking for a second hit on the night. 0-1 count. Oh, a nice change up there by Rosenboom. What a brilliant pitch. I think Haley thought about swinging 3 times.
Yeah.
And maybe even got a bite to eat as that pitch came in.
I felt one of those cartoons coming on. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, you're out.
Ground ball to short. Banzide, Huseman, and the third out. Yeah, that was a really neat pitch by Rosenboom. And honestly, the first time she really showed it that slow. And then the next pitch came in a little faster, and Haley had a good swing on it, but you can definitely tell it through Haley's timing off. I'd like to see Laurel throw a few more of those, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that was a clever pitch, and I'd like to see her try to throw a few more.
It can be effective especially if you've got speed, right? If you can change of speed, change of location, change all these things up so that it keeps that batter off balance all the time.
Yep.
But if you're slow and then slower, I mean, that's hard to manage that part. You know, the changeup, just like, why are they not, that thing is coming in there so slow, just get after it. I'll bet if you had 15 changeups, 20 changeups thrown in a season, the Mustangs, I don't know, but they will not swing at those changeups. We traditionally have not swung at those changeups, especially if it's on first pitch. We're not going to do that. We want those good, solid hits, and that's hard to square them changeups up.
All righty, top of the third. The scoreboard says 8-2, but I have a hunch it's 9-2, but we'll go 8-2 until proven otherwise wrong.
There you go, 9-2.
Yeah. In the batter's box for the Eagles, Matty Van Zee, the shortstop. Strike one to Van Zee. Top of the third here. Beautiful night. You know, Pat, we've been gone for a few years, and you know, initially I missed it, and then I didn't. But boy, a lot of memories.
Oh yeah, there is. And a night like tonight, what better place to be than right here?
Yep.
We should get a look from second base. I can't believe they're not asking for first base to look at that, but that's fine.
One on one count here. 2-1. Shortstop Van Zee. Matty hit 241 last year, 10 RBIs.
So if you're sitting, you hit 241 last year, what are your expectations for this year? And you think, all right, I want to try. If you start chasing batting averages, you're probably going to lose, right?
Yep.
But how can I get better at bats? How can I get stronger hits? How can I get more line drives? And then at the end, did I hit 300 or not? Yep. That type of mentality.
Yeah, I can remember, when I coached youth softball, I had both my girls and my son in baseball in between. So I had about 15 years of youth coaching. And, I'm old school. I got caught up in batting average in that. And tell you a good story. Coach Lofke went to a clinic of his one March, and we were talking. I was like, oh, so-and-so hits what? And he goes, yeah, but how hard are they hitting it? And he goes, what do you mean? I goes, she hits 400. Why do you care? And he goes, well, how hard does she hit it? And he goes, there's a big difference between 400 getting bloops down the right field line, and there's a big difference between 400 hitting, than somebody hitting 250 and hitting line drives all over the ballpark.
Right.
Over a long period of time, that
the averages catch up, right?
Yeah.
And especially at that younger age level, you're going to need to pound that thing through into the grass and things like that. Are they bunting? Are they slapping and things like that? We've never had slappers. We've got one right now, but we've really never had a slapper, and I don't think we've coached that. We've had like little run bunters every once in a while, but not a true slapper.
Yeah. Catcher Aaron Donkey in the batter's box for the Eagles, 0-2 count. Yeah, I always found that interesting. So I guess getting back to the story, I quit taking batting averages, and I actually measured if the girl had a good at bat or not. And, nice pitch on the outside corner, kind of a large outside corner. Yeah. And Maya Huseman here. And so what I did was I tried to determine, did they have a good at, this is like U10, U12. Did they have a good at bat? And what defines a good at bat? Well, I didn't really care if somebody struck out, but if they went out there and they worked hard and they were aggressive and they weren't taking, they forced at least 7 pitches. And I thought that was a good at bat. They made the pitcher work.
Yeah, those are the things that people that are stewards of the game, they really understand that. It's hard for parents to understand that because all they see, or a kid to understand that, because they had to walk back to the dugout. So that's the part of the coaches and the assistant coaches and the players. Man, somebody else is going to benefit from that 10 pitch at bat.
Yep.
Because we're out there working. It might not be you, but from a team standpoint, that third batter in that lineup is gonna benefit from that because they're all worn out.
Yep.
That's a very true story. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, that last ground ball was to Bella Mulder at second base. She made that play look easy, and that's 3 outs. So we're heading to the bottom of the third here, 9-2 Mustangs. Where are we going to be here in the order? It looks like it should be down to Addie Abens, I believe, will lead us off here. Again, Addie grounded out last time. Again, excited to watch. She got an infield hit, I believe, with her speed. I'm excited to watch this young lady play this year. Freshman on the field, varsity softball 4A. That's a talent. So,
well, it's impressive when you are a freshman, an 8th grader, freshman, whatever you want to call it, and you are even stepping on the field at 7:30 p.m.
Yep.
That is huge, and that is something. And it's hard as an 8th grader. What is the most challenging thing in high school athletics? And that's to be an 8th grade softball player that is also sitting on this bench down here, because you got to go to practice. You're probably playing freshman ball, maybe you're not playing freshman ball, but you're playing JV. So you're going to JV practice. You're getting up. You're getting here by 9 o'clock. Before you know it, it's midnight and you haven't been home yet.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's very, very tough on these kids. So, basketball is a little bit different. Baseball will be the same as softball. You're there all day, every day, and it's very, very tough. And you don't have your summer. You're with your friends on the softball team, but you're not at the lake. You're not doing this. You're not on vacation. You got to wait till after the season.
Yeah.
Very tough.
Yeah, and you really miss the summer with your friends, right? Or not on the team. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's why you see lifelong friends made through softball, though, because you are day in and day out with the same young ladies on the same team, trying to accomplish the same thing and working hard together. So
right, absolutely.
You do gain that. Strike one on Abens to lead off the bottom of the third. Laurel Rosenboom still in the circle for Eagles. Oh, there it is, Pat.
That's the same change right there.
I love it. I love to see it. It's a great pitch, and kind of in the zone the umpire's been calling, but did look a little in.
When it went over the plate, it was probably over the belt, and that's why it wasn't called.
And then comes in, and then after that, jams her. High throw to first, and Abens on the way to second base. Tough throw there, but again, hard hit ball. Bryn knocked that down.
And a lot of that is set up by the speed of Addie. So you start looking at that speed, that creates pressure on the defense. You've got to go faster than what you really want to have created that high throw.
Yep. Back to the top of the order, Zaruba. Runner on second, no outs. Light rain falling now. Ground ball back to the mound, knocked down. Look at that speed.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that you just you can't coach that. You either have it or you don't, and some people are just gifted that way.
Yeah, I mean that was a hard hit to the mound. She knocks it down, and too late.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure, and that's gonna bode. Lydia showed up tonight with no hits and a couple walks, and now on that kind of speed is just going to put pressure on it. And we know Lydia's going to hit, really well this year.
Oh, absolutely.
So no concerns.
And there's the other part of it right there.
Yep.
You put her on, it's an automatic double.
Yep. So Summer Campbell up, second and third now, stolen base for Zaruba. Line drive, base hit. Summer Campbell to left center. One run is in. Here comes Zaruba. Second run is in.
Yeah, Lydia's mom and dad are like, did you have to slide there? No, I got to wash your pants.
And I believe the Mustangs play a couple games tomorrow. Probably
That's
probably
right.
a Saturday tournament.
Ugh.
I'm guessing somewhere local. I think I saw on the calendar. So yeah, Lydia's mom and dad right now are like, you're washing your own pants tonight. You didn't need to slide there.
If you go back and look at her at second base right there before that hit, that line drive is there. She stops about 7-8 feet off the bag, 10 feet off the bag, making sure that it gets by the shortstop.
Yep.
then takes off. There's too many times kids will take off right away, assuming it gets through. It doesn't. You end up getting doubled off.
Yep.
That's great base running right there.
1-1 count here to Macy Reiling. Yeah, and again, there was a play there. You know, you're talking about improving defense. You know, we're up here. Maybe we can't hear everything, but it was pretty quiet when that ball came thrown in. I wasn't sure if any Eagles were telling us first up where to throw that ball.
Yeah.
I thought maybe there might have been a play at the plate, or at least a better look, but we seemed unsure when we got the ball back in. Line drive, base hit. Reiling.
Now that
And
one
it
was
goes
smoked.
through or late. Yep. Reiling's going to go all the way around. Here goes the third.
Heck, let's get it. Get down there. And see that it just started raining again a little bit right here.
Yep.
The grass has just got a little bit of water. She thinks that thing's going to come right out. It skidded right through, just like we said at the beginning of the game. And if once that ball hits that, it doesn't come off. It's kind of like the pickleball you get on some of those.
Yeah.
The thing just slides right through there.
Exactly.
So we're going to get Amelia Ellert will be the pitch hitter.
Yep. Yeah, Amelia's senior, has been in a couple games this year. Got a hit already, so she's 500 in a couple of at-bats. So
I think she's the one that hit the home run in the JV game.
I believe you might be right. Good to see Amelia get in a bat here. Let's see what she can do with it.
And this is important because she's going to be asked to be the designated hitter, that player. You know, when we're playing Indianola, when we're playing Pella, and we're playing Norwalk and all the other teams. So this is very valuable experience.
Yep. Yeah. You always need a good bat to come in, get some spot starts, get critical hits. I'm sure Coach knows there's probably certain pitches and pitcher styles that Amelia can handle.
Yep.
But you got to give her at bats to get sharp.
Yep. The only way you can get the experience is right now. You can't get this in practice.
No.
I mean, you can get practice reps, but practice reps are not game reps.
Yep. Amelia's hitting for the catcher, Addison Linden. I'm sure Addie will re-enter to continue to catch her.
And right now, she's about a mile ahead of the ball.
There's that changeup. See,
that's another one right there.
Wow.
That, she's way ahead of. That's a great pitch right there because she was way ahead of that.
Yeah, I really like to. It's a great pitch. I really hope Laurel works on that pitch and continues to throw it just a little bit more. You don't want to fall in love with it, and she throws it inside, which can be a little conceiving. I'd like to see her get it on the outside corner.
Yeah,
I think that would really confuse people. But she gets another weak ground ball. Nice play by her sister, throws it away, and right.
Yeah, and this is what hurt Pella Christian last year. You were talking about the errors last year, and when you have the opportunity, there's no outs right now, and there should be two, because that's the second error of the. And that puts a lot of pressure on your pitcher. It puts a lot of pressure on everybody else. I mean, things happen, right? So I mean, errors are going to happen. There's no doubt about it. But if you struggle to score, you struggle in areas. The more that you have the turnovers, the more challenging it's going to be for you. It's like turnovers in basketball. You can't give extra outs. You can't give extra second chance opportunities for baskets.
Yeah, exactly, Pat. And I call it competitive nature. In the second inning, the Eagles scored 2 runs, and they came out, and yes, they gave up 3 runs. But we saw great intensity and effort from the Eagles. I thought they were actually playing very good defense last inning. This inning, again, we look indecisive, unsure. And you get that when you're young, right?
Yep.
This is a younger ball club, but it's noticeable. It's very noticeable. Second inning, I thought the Eagles were flying around this field. I'm like, wow, look how hard they're going. They're not hesitating. Center fielder comes in, tries to make a diving catch. Third baseman's gloving it everywhere. Now we're tentative again, and that's what you got to coach to, right? That's what you take to practice on Monday.
It's like, look, when the things are down, you got to keep on fighting, and they are. The third baseman right there, she threw that with authority.
All right, in the batter's box now, we got number 25, Tess McGuire, a senior. Also running at second base, looks to be number 18. Looks like Lucia Garcia?
Yep.
Lucia or how do you know?
Yeah.
Lucia? I'll say Lucia. Sorry if I got that wrong. I'll get it right. by the end of the year. Good to see her out there. Also a senior, Garcia. Oh, she's a freshman. Yeah. So Tess is a senior, and Garcia is a freshman runner.
Right.
Again, Garcia is going to be playing, obviously, a role here for the team. Coach loves his pinch runners in critical spots. And
Tess was our neighbor back in the day when we were over on Harvey Circle.
Very nice. Yeah, it's good family. Come on, I like to see Tess get a good pitch here and drive in a run for the Mustangs. Tess, good eye, 2-1. Like Tess is.
You know, you watch these kids in college and even the high school. I think it was nice cut right there.
Very good cut.
They do not get out of the way of the ball. If that's going to hit them, they're going to let it hit them right there. I want to hit. I hate it when that happens. Like, man, I'm going to get out of the way. I want to stroke that ball hard.
Yeah, I never walked much when I played baseball. Same thing.
Oh, there's your changeup right there
Yep.
again.
Yep. And McGuire with the strikeout, and Laurel again with a great changeup. What a great pitch, Laurel. Keep working on that pitch, young lady. That's just a great pitch. Really love to see it. Who's this?
15. Got a lot of subs going on right now.
Yeah, in the batter's box now, number 15, another senior, Ashlyn Cross. 13 seniors. Great to get them, playing time.
And it's impressive that all of these kids have stayed out this entire time, because
Absolutely.
it is a lot of time. It is a lot of energy. It is a lot of effort, especially if you're a pitcher or a catcher. It's not just right now. It's all winter long. 5 a.m. you get up 5:30. Make sure you're there by 6. Warmed up by it's like, wow. What it takes to be a championship caliber team it's work.
Yep. We've seen a few years now. This isn't the first really big class. The class after our last daughters, had 10, 11 seniors.
Yep.
That's a tribute to the coaches who sell the young ladies that you're in a program.
Yeah.
And in a program, you earn your time in that. But even if you're not on the field, you have an important role on this team. And every player in that dugout is treated, in my experience, is treated like you have a role this year, and your role may change based on how you work in that. My oldest daughter is exactly that.
Right.
Yeah. Janae was told, you know what, Janae, you might never play on this field, but you're a darn good teammate, and you'd do anything to work it. But she worked at it, and then, junior year a little bit, and senior year ended up on the field, and
it ended up in the state tournament with probably one of the biggest hits in that state tournament.
Yep.
So, what is it how do you get through it? That's why you play right there. It's not for everything. It's like you were able to step in, you persevered, you overcame, you had all these things happen. You were rewarded with that hit, which not everybody gets that. She could have struck out, she could have had it, or whatever the case is, but that one she took off the fence at Harlan Rogers Field.
Yep. 2-2 to Ashlyn. Run out here. I'm rooting for Ashlyn to get a hit here. Right back to the mound. Play at the plate, dropped, and Garcia scores. Cross puts the ball in play. That's what it takes,
Yeah.
Put it in play, put pressure on the defense.
And you wonder.
That's good softball.
Yeah, why? So it's. Oh.
So it's a 12-run rule, I believe, after 3
Okay.
in high school softball now. So our evening is going to end tonight, Patrick. Thanks for the 5 of you that tuned in tonight and listened to us. We wish the Pella Christian Eagles the best. Love to. We'll definitely be paying attention. I saw some really good things from the Eagles tonight. I know that it was a little inconsistent in time, but that's what young teams do. But but I hope the Eagles keep working, and I would love to see that they have a successful postseason run when they get there.
Yeah, and there's opportunities for improvement for the Mustangs too. So
Yeah.
they'll be able to go back to the tape and look at it, and they don't really need the tape because they have like steel trap minds.
Yeah.
So they'll go through and they'll say, okay, here's some things we got to do. This is what's going on. This is what we have to have on go forward. We were able to get a lot of kids into play, so that's good. Camila Rodriguez gets the win, and those don't come easy. So, I mean, that's just there's a lot of good things that happen.
Yeah. I really hope the Eagles take that second inning and bottle that and try to play, the third inning, I just didn't feel the energy from them.
Yeah.
That second inning was really well played by the Eagles, and I really would like to – I want them to grow on that because they're very capable. There's some good young talent here. We know Pella Christian has great families and a great community, so we truly wish them the best and keep working because I see good things out there. That second inning was very well played by the Eagles.
Yeah, I think if they go back and look at that second inning tape and they start looking and here's where we were at, if they were an older team, they probably would have been able to do more. But you got to have realistic expectations for some of these young kids that are out there playing against, again, kids that are 3 years older at some areas and a lot more experience on the field.
Yeah, and Mustang fans, Pat and I plan on being here every home game this year, weather permitting and technology available, no technology issues. I hope you tuned in and again, couldn't be more honored to be asked by Coach Slofsky to be a part of this. I thought I'd never come back here, but I'm sure glad I did because it was great memories and a great place, and it's a great program, and it's full of great young athletes and great families. It's one thing my kids growing up here in Dallas Center and Grimes. It's just a great community full of great people, and I could sit there all day and give a little bit of my summer back and be a part of this amazing program and coach's final farewell. So some great nights ahead of us, some great competition coming in on the schedule, Pat.
Yep. So our next broadcast will be June 6th, Thursday, June 6th, Indianola poster night, one of your favorite nights right there. Varsity doubleheader will be starting at 5:30 on June 6th, Thursday next week.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And who did you say? Norwalk?
Indianola.
Well, we know Indianola will bring talent in here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That'll be two very good doubleheader games. So wish DCG well this weekend and next week until we see you again Thursday night. Mustangs win tonight 14-2. Thanks for tuning in, and go Mustangs.
Couldn't happen at a better time. It's starting to rain.